So our agenda for today is to discuss the solution Cymulate. I will take a few words about Softprom, about the Cymulate. Of course, I will provide some information regarding the platform itself, what it does, what the main purposes of it. The main part for us would be the live demo. I will show you how the user interface look like, how to perform tests, how to read the results, what we have, what functionality we have in the system. We will talk through about the licensing and how to do the POC or how to test the solution within your environment. So firstly, the few words about Softprom. Softprom is value-added distributor. It's a trusted IT distributor for of solution across the CIS region, Central and Eastern Europe. More than 1,000 partners relies on our expertise. Softprom was founded in 1999, and since then, company grown to establish its presence in more than 30 countries. And I guess here the participants of this meeting is the evidence for that. In Softprom, we have more than 100 cyber solution vendors, it's just vendors, and even more solutions itself. We are working with cybersecurity monitoring system, SIEM, web application firewalls, database security, network traffic analyzers, DLP systems, deceptions, EDR, and many, many others. So in this slide, you might hear the key vendors that we are working with. It's the vendor for main cybersecurity solution presented on the market today. Now let's move a bit closer to the topic of today's webinar. The Cymulate is our solution. Cymulate is the breach and attack simulation platform. We call it BAS, breach and attack simulation. The manufacturer is Cymulate itself. It's a company that is found in 2016 in Tel Aviv. It has large customer base and technical support team located in Israel, United Kingdom, and United States. Cymulate is widely recognized as leading provider in the cybersecurity field realm, earning numerous prestigious awards and accolades from top global organizations. Notable achievements include that Cymulate been named the Distinguished Vendor in 2022, Cybersecurity Excellence Awards in 2023, Global InfoSec Awards in 2023, and this year, at 2024, Gartner PMSite highlighted Cymulate as a customer's choice in breach and attack simulation category in its annual customer voice report. All those awards are telling us that Cymulate stands as a global, scalable solution with ambitious plans for growing and strong validation from the cybersecurity community worldwide. As a start, I would like to ask you for probing questions. Those questions will help us to understand what exactly Cymulate does. So the main questions that Cymulate is asking to their partners and customers: do they know for sure that the security controls, like firewalls, EDRs, are they working and are they actually protected? We know that they are configured. We know that someone maintained it, of course, but do we know for sure that it's working as for now, right in this moment? The other question is, are your security controls configured properly? Are you sure all the URL filterings and all the policies are configured, file types blocked or permitted for as we as cybersecurity officer are expecting? The other question is do your control protect against new threats? We will see on the platform there are threats that are updated on daily basis, that are there updated yesterday and today. So the question is, does your security control protect you against those new threats? Are you sure in that? How you can make sure? And of course, how often do you test your cybersecurity infrastructure? That are the main questions, and that how Cymulate addresses its solution. So what does the solution do actually? Now let's dive into some specific what exactly Cymulate do. What problem does it solve? So Cymulate is a cloud-based platform that automates evaluation of cybersecurity systems and the vulnerability of the infrastructure to breaches by performing the following. How does Cymulate do? By doing testing cybersecurity systems, cybersecurity controls to assess their effectiveness in detecting threats. It's performing attack surface management, identifying enterprise assets exposed to the internet and data leakage online. It simulates attacks to test whether necessary security policies are configured correctly, are they functioning correctly, evaluating the effectiveness of monitoring tools such as security operation, such tools that are used in cybersecurity operation centers like CM system. If the correlation rules are working, if monitoring system are able to detect, are able to monitor and generate some cybersecurity incidents, and phishing assessment, certifying employees, are they aware how to work with the phishing? Are they able to recognize and handle phishing attacks? So Cymulate provides a comprehensive tool set for cybersecurity teams to assess the organization cybersecurity posture at the moment. It's how its infrastructure is vulnerable to which attacks and what resources are exposed to the internet. Here in the right column, we can see the exact list of attacks that, or just a second, sorry. We see here detailed list of vectors that are used in simulation. From those vectors, we can see and understand which cybersecurity solution can be tested using those tests. So let's go through each point from top to bottom. The email gateway capability challenges the email security control. Endpoint security tests, endpoint security platform, and native tool against behavior and signature-based attacks. The web gateway tests employees' access to the malicious websites through the purposely or purposely performing dangerous activities. Web application firewall simulates attack against web application that WAF protects. Data exfiltration capability tests the effectiveness of DLP security controls and native controls with exfiltration methods such as HTTP and HTTPS, DNS tunneling, ACMP tunneling, and SSH, Telnet, of course, and many other ways to exfiltrate data out of the perimeter of the organization. The immediate threat intelligence module tests the security control against new and emerging threats observed in the internet. Cymulate updates its platform on daily basis with the attack simulation for those latest threats. Full kill chain APT scenarios it provides the capabilities to simulate end-to-end attack scenarios of known advanced persistent threat, APT, so-called APT groups. Oops, sorry. I didn't finish. So that those vectors are the part of the package that is called breach and attack simulation package. Also, we have few additional modules that are part of so-called continuous automated red teaming module. There are two basic vectors that are very useful for assessing the cybersecurity posture. It's something that is called lateral movement, or sometimes it's called network penetration test. So it allows to test the attack propagation simulation inside the perimeter. Often we can hear that as the network penetration test. So how the attack could be spread within the perimeter. Phishing awareness. So this is the phishing campaign, which are designed to assess employees' awareness and response to phishing. And advanced scenario is aimed to advanced users, providing tools for a fine-tuned customization of the attack by using pre-built tests that we can use for for a penetration test in our environment. Now I will switch to the demo section, and will show you how it looks like. So first of all, we can see the dashboard page, of course. The Cymulate dashboard provides an overview of attack vectors, their scores, and overall Cymulate risk score. We have here scores for each phase of the attack, starting from initial information gathering, initial foothold, which are the vectors, the email gateway, web application, web gateway, and phishing awareness. So those are the main vectors that are used for getting initial access. Endpoint security, attack propagation vector, and data exfiltration. And of course, we have the risk score overall. Dashboard and detailed reports summarize the results for each bust scenario capability and attack vector. They include at-a-glance metric and detailed information for each vector, divided by categories such as payloads, URLs, sites, and other. We will see that. For example, let's select the endpoint attack simulation vector. So these are the bunch of tests that are used to test the endpoint security, how our endpoints are secured with the EDR system, antivirus, sandbox, and other. For each vector, and here we see the endpoint security vector specialist, we can generate reports. Those reports can be with different level of details. So it could be executive, technical report, some machine reports for further integration with other solutions. It could be PDF, CSV, or something else. And all the tests are divided by categories. Here, for this specific test, we have here 4 categories: ransomware, worm, Trojan, antivirus, and their scores and some details for each vector. Let's choose a ransomware. Here we can see a list of all the tests in this category and their outcomes. So we see that there is a prevented test. It means that the attack simulation was blocked. Some of the attack was not prevented. For each test, we can see some details. Let's selecting the first test. We see the simulation. That simulation consists of 14 steps. We can see some visualization here of those steps. And also we see that this specific attack was blocked at step 7. For each step attack or test, we can view detailed description. Let's see. We can see some details. What is the step? What is the threat that was used here? What are the detection method, mitigations, some analytics, and of course some details. It could be Sigma rules or hashes that could be used to integrate to the security controls for better detection, better response, to improve their response and detection capabilities. Also, although this attack was prevented, having such an analysis allows us to take an actions or measures to ensure that this kind of attack will be blocked next time on the first step, but not on the 7th. Let's take a look at the other vector. We will consider all the vectors now let's take a look at the web application testing. Just give me a second. So let's take a look at the web application firewall, how it protects our website. Here we see summarized analytics for all tests, for all the resources that were involved in the testing. For each test, we can see some details. Let's move on. Let's see what we have here. Now we can see here that for this specific resource, we've done a few testing campaigns. And here's each specific test within this campaign. For each test, we can see some details, some mapping to the MITRE framework, and probably most important here, we can see the response of web application firewall. So it will provide the response, and in case if screenshot is available, we will see the screenshot here. At this point, I can see that there is some screenshot, but I cannot see really what is written there, but it's available here. We can do that. We can review the full requests that were sent to the web application. And of course, we can resend it right away and see what is the reaction. For instance, we did some reconfiguration, replay the payload, and let's see what it will return to us. Okay, so there is some code for 200. So I guess it would be deny. We have a screenshot. Let's keep in mind that this is a testing demo stand. So we have some screenshot of the reply and have the reply by itself. Okay, let's move on to the email security. Again, we see an overall score here. We are not seeing it yet, but we will do that. We will see it. Okay, so we'll see the overall score. The lowest is better. We see a lot of categories here. For instance, ransomware, malware, payload, exploits, worm. So there's a lot of let's say, basic tests. For instance, malware, there was something about 5,000 of malware sent to the mailbox, out of which almost 2,500 was delivered. So that's what we know about malware detection and protection on the email security control. Also, here we have some more sophisticated tests, for instance, embedded in email body threads, or testing links categories, file categories, through file type detection, and others. As usual, we can see some details for each test, generate report, and to work with further, to move on with the analytics and to move on with cybersecurity control improvement. Let's see web gateway. Web gateway is the set of tests that allows us to test the threat detection in the, let's say, internet traffic. So it's as usual, we have here the overall scoring and scores divided by categories. We have here the test for that allows us to test the ability of the end user to get access to some malicious phishing websites, command and control center outbound traffic capabilities, test for detecting vulnerable files in the inbound traffic, test for the outbound URL category policy check, inbound file policy check, and of course details on each of them and some actions and mitigation details. Let's move on with the phishing. Looking at the phishing campaign, we can see how our user are reacting on the phishing campaign. So we can see here that there's a few stages of each phishing email. It was sent, actually it was delivered, opened, clicked, logged in, and the phishing campaign. So besides everything else, we can see here that there's users involved in this campaign. Some of the users previously was phished and some doesn't. So we know that this particular user requires additional attention from the cybersecurity officers. Let's move on and let's move to the hopper. It's the network attack propagation tests. For me, it's one of the most impressive test types presented on the platform. Here's the list of the tests performed, and we will choose one of them that is most full for us. We can see some details here. We can work with this result as in interactive way, or we can download details in the documents or PDFs. In the interactive way, in the interactive mode, we can see the attack spread propagation map. Not yet, but we will see it. Okay, so now we can see that there is an agent installed in the network. It's an agent of Cymulate, and this agent was able to propagate itself on all of those hosts in the network. While doing it, it found a lot of resources here in this infrastructure within this perimeter. For instance, there is about 68 servers, 83 workstations. There is some databases, and we can see the details of those databases, web services, file shares, and what is most critical, for me at least, is the credentials. here we see the computer name, username, and password that Cymulate managed to enumerate or exfiltrate from the cookies from some other system resources. Those usernames are used to propagate the attack and gather even more credentials. And by choosing some host here in the net, in this diagram, by clicking special button, we see here the propagation path from host to host up till the host that we've picked before. And on each host, we can see what resources were founded during this propagation. So especially for the host name BOI something something, there was 3 file shares and 0 hashes tokens and other. But on the host before that, we see there was 2 tokens. Tokens is something that is used for accessing other machines. File shares, so we see some details and can get some mitigation and some information on this, on each specific step, attack and attack path. Let's get back to the reports and move on with the next vector. The next vector for us would be data exfiltration, I guess. Let's see. Okay, Hopper, the next would be data exfiltration. In the data exfiltration vector, we see, as usual, we see different categories that for us, it presents the technique that could be used to exfiltrate data, among which there are HTTP, HTTPS, DNS tunneling, email, removable devices like flash drive, CDs or something, telnet, SFTP, and more other. This is one of the competitive advantages of the Cymulate. So we have here 23 exfiltration channels and the ability to design testing methodology using dictionaries, regular expressions, internal tags or labels. So this is very useful if customers' DLP is using the context-based analysis. Immediate threat intelligence is another feature set, and I will describe you this vector using another menu from which we'll be able to see the list of known threats that has the names, and we can perform the testing using those threats and to check if our infrastructure and security controls are vulnerable to each specific named attack. Let's wait a second so this page will be loaded fully. For instance, I will choose the attack that is most famous here in Ukraine. We've struggled from this attack in 2017. So it's called WannaCry attack. We can explore some details about this attack, its alignment to the MITRE framework, recommendation, and risk and the action that could be that could minimize risk for us. Let's see some details. Also, we can select, let's say, there's a Cobalt malware, something that is related to some, I guess, Cobalt Strike vulnerability. And there's a huge amount of named attack available here on the platform. And the most important for me is this is the platform that is updated daily. Let's see, there is some attack that was uploaded to this platform yesterday. And I'm sure that by the end of this day, we will have here some attack, some update from today. And probably the last vector would be the advanced scenarios, another important module here on the platform, which we call also attack builder. It provides templates for all techniques and tactics that is available in the Mitre framework. At this moment, we are observing Mitre AT&T heat map that give us a detailed view of cyber resiliency by visualizing exposure to each technique. Heat map correlates all founding from across the platform and offers filtering and drill down options for assessment details, test results, and recommended mitigation. Using this module, penetration tester can create specialized fine-tuned test for the and use it as a template for their testing. For example, we might say, for instance, we have here 13 phases of attack. Each attack has some techniques and sub-techniques. Let's pick one of them. We have here lateral movement phase, which means the attack propagation within the perimeter, and we have some techniques and remote service session hijacking technique. Let's open it. Okay, we have here SSH and RTP hijacking. So I will copy this and personally me as a beginner in pen tests, I'm not really aware what does it mean, what is the technique, how to use it, and especially how to build a test using this technique. So what can I do here? I can wait while it will be loaded, first of all. Mhm. Let's create a new template. I'm not sure what techniques are available on that lateral movement propagation. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking for this SSH hijacking lie. I see there's two technique available for me in this within this sub technique. I can study some details. What is it about? I see that attack simulation will test the security of a given system exploiting SSH hijack attack. The SSH it will use some variable in the environment to hijack the SSH, the platform, agents, some other details. I can see here what will be used as during the attack. I can fine tune it. I can see the commands that will be used. And I decided to add this to my template. Now I can configure it. I see the same details here, and there is some actions that I might fine tune. For instance, we can say, let's add nmap scanning for open ports. I'll add this nmap scanning. This would be my second step. Also, I can fine tune it with and see what will be done during this test. On that test, I can see here also what is available for me as a next step. Let's pick something. Get local IP network, for instance. I'll add that. Okay, now I have a tag that will gather the information on the IPs. Now what can I do the next? Let's say list. Now I can install a package. I will do that for sure. Okay, so now I made a template that has 4 steps, starting with SSH hijacking, scanning the network, getting the information, installing something, and so on and so on. On each step could be fine-tuned. And I can save it, add to this template some other tests with other techniques and so on. At this point, I'd like to pause and ask you to ask yourself, if you would have such a task for today, could you find easily or not easily? Could you find it at all? Could you find the penetration tester who knows the techniques that are available that can be used during the attack? That no, of course, there's no man that could know all the techniques, but at least let's say the major techniques. Can you find the man who knows it? And the second is, can you be sure that this pen tester is skilled enough to not harm your systems, to not broke it, to not put the systems down during the pen test? So in this manner, Cymulate provides the information for the internal pen tester and tool set to build the tests that will not harm, that will be safely for a productive environment. That is the point that I should add in the very beginning. So all the tests that could be done from the platform and that are available at the platform at the moment, all of them are safe. They are non-intrusive tests, and they are safe to use in the productive environment. I will take another minute to provide you with the information about the integration that are available on the platform. Integration, why do we need the integration? So those integration enrich test results by correlating the test results with the events or incident that were observed on those systems during the testing. So this means that the security officer that can see both the test results, if the attack was blocked, not blocked, and the event, how each specific system, for instance, QRadar, react on that attack. Was that attack detected? Was the security incident generated? And using that, we can fine-tune the monitoring tools. As you can see, we have here almost every security vendor available among those that are widely spread in the cybersecurity market. Now I'm going to switch back to the presentation to provide some information regarding architecture of the solution, how it works. So the solution is implemented as a cloud service. All tests is carried out in the cloud and performed from the cloud. So it means that the customer doesn't need to maintain any hardware, software. They doesn't need to update, to install some updates, packages somewhere, or so on. So to perform most of the tests, an agent needs to be installed on the workstation. This agent simulates the user activity, attempts to access forbidden resources in the internet, it receives the emails, and simulate malicious activities on the workstation. The number of testing points or agent is not limited, and according to the Cymulate's best practice and Cymulate design, agent should be deployed on the all key segments and typical segments on the infrastructure to ensure comprehensive testing. So it could be, let's say, headquarter, all the branches, typical remote user, and the data center, and of course, testing environment if customer has. Here's a few another few words to sum up the use cases that that Cymulate is designed for. The use case is classic validation of security control. It addresses the challenges of the frequently changing IT environment and the evolving threat landscape. With so many products comprising the security estate, companies, it's very difficult to track the impact of change both in the IT environment and in the security control themselves. And even the best setup will drift from the optimal performance within weeks or months. And by running continuous security validation, you are able to make sure that you don't suffer from the security drift and your security controls are configured, working, and licenses are active. That is from my personal experience when the firewall is working, and everyone is in safe, or they think they are in safe, but it appears that license expired, they missed it, and they worked some time without any firewall in the network. So another use case is to improve security operation detect and response capabilities. Here the main thing is, and the main question is that besides detecting the attack, it's important to besides blocking the attack, it's important to see it, to react on that, respond. And so it's important for us to understand three things here. First of all, does Security Operations Center get enough information for rule correlation, for log management, for event correlation to generate some incident cybersecurity incident? So first question, does Security Operations Center gets enough information for that? The other question is, are we sure that correlation rule is working fine for every or most recent attack? Maybe we need to fine tune. Of course, every vendor saying that all the correlation rules are working out of the box, but this is something that we trust. But security is not about the trust, it's about to know. And now we by doing the testing, we can know for sure if the correlation works and for which attack it works fine and for which not. Also, we need to do it to fine tune the severity of the cybersecurity events that could be generated with the SOC team. And the third is, does the Cybersecurity Operations Center staff knows how to react on each specific attack, knows what each specific event or incident means. And the next use case is to rationalize security investment. How many times have the security team requested a budget for a security control to either replace all controls or to update some solution or update architecture, modify, do some modification within the infrastructure, IT infrastructure. The score metrics that Cymulate provides after every assessment can show a trend that can be used as a de facto standard to measure the security posture and to increase effectiveness and efficiency of uh, of the management of those security control. Once the security control is outdated, we will see that, and or if it's not longer effective because new threats, we will see that, we will receive the objective result, and we'll have some strong objectives to ask for a budget for a modernization. Few words regarding the licensing. So the solution is sold as an annual subscription at the to the Cymulate service. So the cost of the solution depends on the selected packages, number of domains, and the duration of the subscription. Here we see there's mainly there are three packages. The bus package that includes, I will say, the testing for the following solution: EDR, email security, next generation firewall, web proxy, web gateways, immediate threats, web application firewall, DLP. Also, there is a package for lateral movement, which is penetration test, network pen test, phishing campaign, and we have another package which is advanced scenarios, the one that we called attack builder. So we have three packages here: the bus package, and all of the vectors that are included in this package are available for a 14 days trial. So we are offering, of course, free of charge to test your environment for 14 days with following vectors and to study how the solution works and how effective it is. Preparing for those tests requires minimal effort. It requires one or two test workstation with the access to the internet. We need to install the agent on those machines and to configure email for those agents. After that, within 10 minutes, we will activate access to the platform. We'll help you to deploy the agent, and we will help to start first tests right away. And in general, it will take not more than 1 hour of collaborative work. I guess that would be my final slide. I'd like to do some conclusion here. So the solution, let's sum up. The solution automates infrastructure testing across following areas. It would be endpoint protection, email protection, web traffic protection, web application firewall, DLP, phishing campaign, immediate threats, and advanced scenarios modules for advanced users. And key feature of the platform is that it's fully cloud-based platform, no hardware, no software needed, easy to implement, doesn't require any specific training from the staff, fully automated, no need for employee to do some fine-tuning of the platform itself. It's ready made out, it's working out of the box. Also, there's advanced module available, instant test results, unlike the other methods, unlike manual pen tests. Enable continuous pen testing. You are able to do the testing right away, do the fine tuning of the solution, and test right away again. Doesn't affect on the internal infrastructure. It's absolutely safe. Non-intrusive testing methodology is used. It provides the objective metric for evaluating the performance and effectiveness of protection tools. Built-in mechanism for assessing cybersecurity level, and provides tips for protection method against tested attacks and techniques. So I encourage you, that would be it. I encourage you to write an email. You see the contacts here, and we'll be glad to provide some details, provide additional information on that, provide trial access to the platform so you can test this platform within your environment. That would be all from my side. I thank you all, and I hope there are some questions here in the chat.